that's not where I went to go. There we go. No need to panic. I'm not panicking. Are you panicking? Does this work? I don't see it. There it is. There it is. What am I doing during messages? I don't know what I'm doing. Guess you could say I'm stressing out a little bit. Just a little. Yeah, there might be a little noise in the background, but it shouldn't be too bad. I don't hear anything bad. Yeah. Gotta turn off my volume. To me, it just looks fine. There we go. Then I guess we wait a few minutes. Make sure everything's running smoothly. I can move the page just like I can in a video. I can zoom in so you can see it better. Can you see it better? A little. Here. Just trying to see if this works. Moves it slightly this way. A little bigger. A little smaller. There we go. It looks better. And yes, I can see the chat as well, using my phone. So, yeah, I gotta check back and forth now and again. Make sure I don't miss anything. I'm just waiting for people to join. Share this with share this on Discord as well, because people might be interested to see what I've been up to. Yeah, this is partly a test to see how this goes, and partly the stream. If you haven't read the first 5 chapters, so like I know I read chapters 2 through 4 in a stream. Chapter 1 and 5 were their own individual things. 1 because I wanted to check it out, and 5 because it was a little longer. Yeah. Trying to explain myself, and like, basically the story is about, well, YouTubers don't fall asleep. Really wants to fall asleep. Basically about YouTubers and about 3 people, one group of them, which YouTubers, and that it brings a lot of intrigue because one group wants to destroy them because of reasons, and the other group wants to protect them. And we're gonna learn a little bit more since, yeah, we're getting there. And yeah, if you haven't seen my Minecraft world of this, yeah, that's also gonna reveal some sneak peeks. But yeah, it depends on when I wanna release them. I could release the last 2. Well, I could release the last 1 after all the books are done. But yeah, next one should be probably out after the first book is done. That's my plan anyway. Which means I gotta get reading. I don't know how this is gonna go. This is probably gonna be not so great. That's fine. Just gonna try it out anyway. If it doesn't go to plan, it doesn't go to plan, and I'm just like, oh well. Looks like I just might be reading this on my own then. Okay. This is chapter 6 of the Clockwork Plan. It was another beautiful day in the world of the cat. That's the wrong that's the wrong spelling. Referred to as the lovely world. It was indeed lovely. In its own special way. But today felt extra special. In fact, the cat could even say it was one of the best days he'd ever had. He'd had a few days of fun and building since he'd last seen his nemesis running around the place. Target. Everything seemed to be back to normal. And the cat felt like the day couldn't get any better than as they finally finished the game they'd been working on the Funland. But he decided he'd wait until tomorrow to play it with everyone. All of his helpers, and he, no doubt, would have fun, because all of his games were fun. That was the point of the Funland, and he wouldn't have it any other way. However, as he stepped back to look at everything he and his friend, Polly, had made, he had a strange feeling that something didn't seem quite right. Had he made a mistake in the build? He got closer, squinting his eyes as he tried to see if there was something he missed. But everything seemed to be working fine. He looked around the area, not seeing any signs that there were any googlies or monsters nearby. That was also a good sign, but then why was he so nervous? He heard a dog beside him, Benton, whine softly. Looking up at his master with concern. The cat swallowed as he looked back up to the building. He felt like he should be proud of everything they'd accomplished that day. Yet something didn't seem quite right. He went inside the game again and looked around, finding Polly working hard to make sure the redstone was as it should be. Everything good up there? The cat asked her. She nodded her head as she looked down at him, looking curious. The cat smiled. Good to hear. He walked back to where Benton was sitting, waiting patiently, as he looked down at the dog. Everything seems good to you, right? The dog whined and wagged his tail, and the cat cocked his head curiously. You're all right. Maybe we should check on Gregory Jr. to make sure he's okay. I have a feeling somebody could read the dog's minds. He's mentioned it before. This is just an Easter egg I've just delved right into. Benton stood up and wagged his tail as the cat smiled, wondering why he hadn't checked on the dog yet throughout the past few days. He knew Fluffy was safe and sound in the pick-up pet shop. After all, he checked on her earlier that day. But he hasn't bothered checking on Gregory Jr. He suddenly heard someone walking behind him, and the cat turned to see Polly coming towards him with a small smile on her face. Reindeers. Mind if we take a detour first? The cat offered gently. She shrugged and shook her head, and the cat told her what he was planning to do. They headed over to the golf course, where the cat knew Gregory Jr. would be. It didn't take long until they arrived, and the cat walked into the course, not having trouble spotting the dog sitting where he's left him. Hello, Gregory Jr., the cat replied cheerfully, as the dog looked up at and wagged its tail excitedly. And nothing too out of the ordinary here, am I right? The dog barked and looked over at Benton, who seemed to look relieved, and the cat looked at the two of them in puzzlement. Well, you two happy now? The dog, Benton barked in agreement as he wagged his tail again before heading back to the entrance of the golf course. The cat laughed as he followed the dog, wishing the other doggy companion well, as he left the course and walked into the town. It didn't take long for them to find their way back to the center of town, where his house was, as he led Benton to the doghouse, walking in with him as Polly waited outside. The cat took the dog into the doghouse, and Benton sat down, as Barnaby stood up and greeted his master. You know what time it is, don't you, boy? The cat chuckled as he scratched Barnaby behind the ears. Come on, we have an entire evening to have fun together. The dog barked and wagged the tail as the cat led him out of the doghouse, being greeted by a cheerful Polly. Would you like me to walk you to your home? The cat asked curiously. She shook her head and smiled, gesturing for the cat to go inside. Don't need to worry. All right, I suppose you have a point. It is faster to go to the love garden. The cat laughed as he opened the door as Polly walked through. He followed the reindeer as he walked across the storage room and into the crafting and furnace room before walking out into the love garden. The cat stood by the door, watching as she went over to her house, waiting until she disappeared before turning back, closing the door behind him. Well, at least there aren't any more than one door this time. He walked into the storage room again, taking the route he needed to his bedroom, before he stopped and looked down at Barnaby. You know what? I think we should say hello to Henry and Hilda while we're at it. Benton seemed pretty eager to have me say hello to all my friends. The dog whined and wagged its tail. The cat smiled sadly. No, I haven't said hello to Harrison or Harriet yet either. We'll do that tomorrow before we play the game. The dog barked again and looked at him warily, as if he wasn't so sure he wanted to believe him. He couldn't help but chuckle. All right, we can do that too. What's up with you guys here today? Barnaby wagged his tail innocently as the cat went over to Henry and Hilda's room and opened the door, being greeted by a tall iron golem and a short snow golem. He greeted them cheerfully, asking them about how their day was before wishing them well, walking out of the door as he did so. He made sure he closed the door behind him so that Henry wouldn't think of trying to escape. And went back towards the storage room and towards the love garden, deciding to say hello to Harrison first. Because why not? He hadn't seen his villager friends in quite some time now. It never hurt to see how they were doing. Again. Especially since the village pillage update. It didn't take him long to get up to Harrison's hill and go into the villager's house and down the entrance to see how he was doing. After wishing him a good rest of his day, the cat returned with Barnaby right at his heels and closed up the secret entrance, deciding to talk to Harriet instead. I don't know if instead is the right word. He didn't have to look far to find her working hard in her hat shop, which was right below her house, and the cat greeted her and asked her how work was doing before telling her he'd come back to visit soon. During all that, Barnaby walked at his heels, encouraging his master as the cat walked back towards the love garden, feeling a little better about what he'd done. "You're right, Barnaby. I did need that today," the cat said with a smile. "Did you have anything to do with it by chance?" Oh, my voice just cracked. Come here. Oh. I don't even need to use this voice yet. The dog barked again, wagging his tail as the cat entered the love garden. Heading to the doors, that's the right word this time, that would lead back into the house. The cat listened carefully and then nodded. "I know. Maybe someday we can have a day out where everyone can join and have some fun." The dog barked and growled, and the cat chuckled. "No, I don't think the dog and Beaver would try to ruin the party. My helpers and I wouldn't let them." The dog wagged his tail. When was the last time that actually happened? Fancy pants. The dog wagged his tail and lifted his head high, as if showing off his pride. The cat laughed again. "I'm sure you would, Barnaby. Thank you for that." He walked into the house, closing the door behind him as he went back towards his bedroom, already tired of all the walking he'd done already. He needed time to sleep. Time to sleep. To rest up so that he was ready for the minigame tomorrow. The dog followed him as he opened the door and walked into his room, getting everything ready for tomorrow as he did so. Once he was sure he had everything together, he went over to his bed. He went over to his bed, but before he crawled into the warm covers and let them take him into dreamland, he hesitated, looking back to the balcony, watching the stars begin to appear, just as the last rays of sunset vanished from the sky. He still couldn't shake the feeling that something seemed off. He'd felt it ever since he'd stopped at his target a few days ago. Sure, you could probably say it had been happening for far longer, but he'd assumed it to be nothing more than a mere monster eyeing him. He couldn't even be sure it even was real. After all, he hadn't seen anything out of the ordinary besides its darkest parrot, or Mr. Red as I like to call him. And that had been way too obvious. And it was a trap. The cat closed his eyes and shook his head. He was fine. He knew that. The world was safe. His friends were happy. Everything was as it should be. And it had to be that way. Yet he couldn't shake the feeling that someone was watching him. Even now, through the window. Oh, that's gotta be creepy. Barnaby whined from over by his dog bed, grabbing the cat's attention as he looked back to his doggy companion. "I'm fine, boy. Really. Just nerves, that's all." He climbed into bed, wanting to believe his own words, but he couldn't remember when he hadn't felt the unease that something wasn't right. It had been really hard to notice at first, but it only grew as time went on. How long had it been? Was he simply overreacting? Was something wrong? The cat closed his eyes, trying to push the uneasy feeling aside as he soon found that it was hard for him to sleep. Something was keeping him up, and this time, he could even hear Barnaby get nervous. But what sent him sitting upright was a call for help, a cry from what sounded like a young boy. Chapter 7. Chapter 7. I don't know why I still have that plugged in. I should not have that plugged in. Unplugged. I should not do that with one hand. Yeah. I have this on my lap, so it's tipsy. Oi, oi, oi. Tipsy, tipsy, tipsy. This is chapter 7. When we left off, that he went through a mysterious portal, being separated from everything and everyone he knew. Pretty much. All because he found something in his locker. And here he is. Falling from the sky. Wonder where I got that from. Though it's only a cat thing. Or is it? Never mind. Sam felt a sensation of falling. He closed his eyes, trying not to look at the blinding light that surrounded him, that engulfed him as he fell through one world and into the other. In a moment, he found himself collapsing to what appeared to be a sandy beach. A large tree overhead was what looked like... Wait, what? The boy scrambled to his feet and looked up at the tree that he'd found right behind him. Sure enough, there were melons hanging off the tree. Just the tree. Did melons actually grow in trees in this world? Or was this just for decorative purposes? Why would anyone put melons in a tree anyway? Yes, I am making a little fun of the buildings a little bit. But it's all because, I don't know, you go in it for the first time and you're like, wait, why would you do that? Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Sometimes you just question it more. Sam let out a sigh as he looked out into the ocean, which crashed against the sandy beach. His eyes wandered over to something else that caught his attention. Curious, he walked over to what appeared to be an igloo made out of snow? Yes, he had seen snow before, and yes, it had always been cold around when he did. But when he touched the snowy igloo, he could feel the snow against his hands. Cold? How was it staying? How wasn't it melting? Something really didn't add up here. Again, he should have expected as such. This wasn't his world anymore. Minecraft logic. But before he could marvel about the melons on trees or the snow igloo on a beach, he heard the sound of someone landing on his feet. Footsteps coming toward him. The boy turned around to find the man was only 20 feet away from him. His eyes were full of anger and intrigue. Clearly you're smarter than I thought. And braver, too. Yes. You could have walked right into another trap without even realizing it. But I didn't, the boy pointed out. For now, that is. That won't stop me from getting to you, he sneered, taking another step. You don't know your way around this world. You best surrender because you don't know what might become of you if you find the wrong group of people. Don't think the target would be very happy to have somebody else in the world. What do you mean? The boy said nervously, noticing that there was a bridge behind him that connected to what appeared to be a town in the distance. Was that what the man was talking about? Should he believe him? Or should he take his chances? You don't know where you're walking into, boy. The man sneered again, taking another step closer. Neither do you, the boy retorted. Ah, I think I know a little more about this place than you do, said with a amused chuckle. Now, just come with me, and we won't have any other issues to deal with. I'm not going anywhere with you, the boy repeated again. That's final. The man laughed and shook his head, amused by the boy. Come now, do you really want to do that? I won't stop until my leader gets what he wants. Let's see. The boy lifted his chin higher and stared at the man. I'm not afraid of you. You should be. The man sneered, lunging in the boy's direction. Soon took his opportunity, dodging the man as he ran towards the bridge, hearing the man charging out not so far behind after him. The boy tried not to think about his pursuer as he crossed the bridge and passed the lighthouse. He could hear the man demanding him to stop, but he couldn't. He didn't want to go with that man, not knowing if he'd ever see his friends or family again. He didn't want to be a prisoner to a man who wanted to hurt innocent people. He wanted to get away from this man, but he couldn't run forever. He needed to be smart about this. As he ran, he found that he was riding down a birch and spruce checkered path, his mind racing as he tried to decide where to run next. Could he try hiding in one of the buildings? What if the man cornered him in one of them? He looked around as he passed a few shops and passed what looked to be a hut of some kind, and a doghouse running for the house with a tree in the front. It looked like a normal house he would see, but he wasn't in his world. Now, if you could get help, he'd do it. The boy ran to the door and looked over his shoulder to find that, to his horror, that the man was fending off a monster of some kind. The man pushed the creature aside and came towards him, the dark night making his features far more ominous. Just surrender, boy. It's that easy. Stay away from me, the boy cried as he opened the door, running into the house. Help! Please! Somebody! Help! The boy ran up some stairs and into what appeared to be a storage room. But as he turned to enter another room, the man lunged at him and grabbed him, dragging him to the ground as the boy cried out with fear. Get off me, the boy demanded as he struggled. Won't you be quiet? The man hissed at him. You don't want to get in even more trouble, don't you? It's better than going with you, the boy snapped as he struggled again. Help! Someone please! Before the man could silence him, a door slammed open, and the boy looked up in surprise to see an orange ginger cat stepping out of a room, a diamond sword in hand. He had white on his face, middle paw, and paws, and wore iron boots on his back feet. There was a look of seriousness in the cat's green eyes. The boy watched him approach. What's the meaning of this? The cat asked, looking over at the boy and then to the man. It's nothing you need to worry about, cat. Okay, goodbye. The man snapped. I'm just keeping this boy over here out of trouble. Let me go, the boy cried, kicking the man harder as the man tightened his grip on him. The boy looked up at the cat again, filled him as he added, I don't know what this man wants, but he took me out of my world and wants to take me to some strange man who wants to hurt innocent people. I don't want him to hurt me. He won't hurt you, boy, the man said coldly. Not unless you're some value to him. Please, the boy pleaded. He looked back up at the cat, trying to figure out whether or not he should trust him. Don't let him take me. Let him go, the cat said, taking another step closer. You have no right to be doing any of this in my world. Anyway, the man scoffed. Your world? When did any of this belong to you? You heard me, the cat warned, raising the sword higher. Red hesitated before finally letting the boy go, as Sam scrambled away from the man, watching as the man stood to his feet, eyeing the cat with a look of upset and chills down the boy's spine. Good. Now, why don't you get out of my house? The cat asked, raising an eyebrow. Or what? You're gonna send your little army after me? The man scoffed. I never promised to leave. The man lunged at the cat, who stepped back in surprise as the man expertly knocked the sword out of the cat's paw and tackled him to the ground. No! The boy cried as the man pinned the struggling cat onto the ground. Oh, no. Relax. You're not gonna hurt him. I just want to make sure you can't interfere with my leader's plans for you. Get off me! The cat demanded, managing to kick the man off him with his back feet. The man groaned as he got to his feet, the boy going over to make sure the cat was okay. But before he could get there, the cat got to his feet and went to go for his sword when the man lunged for him again. This time, however, someone cut the man off, tackling him to the ground. To the boy's surprise, it was a gray elephant. What a surprise! Who pinned the man down. The man heard footsteps. No, not the man. The boy heard footsteps and looked up to find that a beaver in full diamond armor was coming through one of the doors and heading in their direction. Do you think you can keep me from getting what my leader wants? The man sneered as he pushed the elephant off him, only to be grabbed by the beaver. Tackled him in a tight grip, making so the man couldn't escape. Take him somewhere where he can't bother us, the cat said to the beaver, ignoring the man as the beaver nodded and dragged the man out of the room, and leaving the boy with the cat and the elephant. The cat turned to look in his direction, seriousness turning into concern. Are you okay? I think so, the boy replied as the cat held out a paw for him to take. Sam took it, and the cat helped him to his feet. Why did you do that? Why do you think I did it? The cat asked, raising an eyebrow before smiling. You seemed like you needed a hand. Yeah, the boy nodded, looking over to where the man had disappeared. You sure he won't come back? He might, the cat shrugged, but we won't let him get to you. The boy swallowed and nodded, looking over to see the elephant walking toward them, holding the cat's sword and handing it back to him. The cat took it gratefully and put the blade away, looking over at the boy's direction. So, who was that man? The cat asked curiously. I don't know. I only know he's part of a group that wants to hurt innocent people. People who don't deserve what their leader is planning for them. Kind of got personal, sis. I'm sorry to hear that, the cat said with a frown. He didn't hurt you, did he? No, I'm fine, the boy reassured him. You did pretty well, though, fitting him off like that. I had to, the cat said with a shrug. He looked over to the elephant. I'm just glad Busy and William were willing to lend us a hand. Yeah, the boy said quietly, looking down at his feet. Part of him glad to be out of the man's clutches. He was also unsure. The man had been pretty strong and knew exactly what he was doing. Had he really been willing to hurt someone the boy had only just met just because they got in his way? Is there anything I can get for you? The cat asked softly, seeing the expression on the boy's face. Sam looked up to see compassion in those green eyes, and he had a feeling that he could trust him. After all, he had just saved his life and his future. No, Maybe something to eat? A bed to sleep in? The boy offered? Or is that too much to ask? No, of course not. The cat laughed as the elephant offered the boy a chocolate chip cookie. That's something that rarely happens. The boy took it, taking a bite. Flavor of the cookie exploded in his mouth. As he closed his eyes, remembering what had happened days ago, when he'd seen his aunt after years of not seeing her. The cookies she'd given him tasted very similar to the ones Susie had given him. Probably because they were made on the same crafting table, or at least the crafting table. YouTuber foods are so much better and healthier. You okay? You got up? Bringing the boy back to reality. The boy nodded as he finished his cookie. Yeah, I'm fine. Just memories. Good ones. About your family? The cat asked. The boy sighed and nodded. My aunt gave me some cookies similar to these when she talked to my brother and me about what she was doing. She wanted us to help the cause, protect those people from those men. Whoever that man calls his leader. Do you know anything about these people you keep referring to? Okay, that's softly. I don't know much, but my aunt called them YouTubers, the boy replied, noticing the cat's slight expression of surprise before it disappeared again. Do you know anything about that? What makes you so sure I do? The cat mused with a smile. Besides, you look exhausted to me. How about I let Fizzy take you to the guest room and you can spend the night there? You don't mind? The boy asked with his uncertainty. No, of course not. The cat smiled. But I do have one more question first. Sure, what is it? The boy replied. Would you mind telling me your name? The cat asked. My name's Samuel James, but my friends call me Sam. The boy replied, thoughtfully. And you are? I'm Stampy Cat. And everyone here calls me Stampy. The cat said matter-of-factly. It's nice to meet you, Sam. Same here. The boy nodded with a smile. I guess it's good night then? Until tomorrow. The cat nodded. Try to get some rest, okay? I will, don't worry. The boy said. The elephant put a hand on the boy's shoulder, gesturing him to the stairs. The boy went over and climbed the stairs, with the elephant not too far behind. Soon he came to a closed door, looking back to see the elephant nodding at him reassuringly. Thanks for helping us out back there, the boy admitted. I really didn't think anyone was up there. How did you do that? The elephant smiled and shrugged, winking at the boy as he went over to the ladder and began to climb. We got his cue. It was time for bed. He opened the door in the guest room and walked inside. The room wasn't necessarily big, but it did fulfill the needs that he was looking for as he found the closest bed and fell on it, closing his eyes as he fell asleep as soon as his head hit the pillow. He slept peacefully that night, and he was glad just to know that he was safe. Even though he hoped his brother was safe, that his aunt would be able to handle whatever happened. He wanted them to know that he was okay. But how could he? He was so far away, in an entirely different world altogether. He wasn't sure. But he knew they wouldn't give up, and neither would he. Chapter 8. Chapter 8. It's a really long chapter 8. Just 39 minutes. Okay. Guess that means we can read chapter 8 then. You don't have to. Just reading. Nice and delicious. Stampy watched in silence as the boy and the elephant climbed up the stairs both relieved to see that the boy was okay and intrigued about how and why he was here. He had a feeling that this was no accident, and the thought alone unnerved him, and he brushed the thought aside, assuring himself that he wouldn't have to worry about the man threatening them. They wouldn't have to worry about it. And yet, he couldn't shake the feeling that something seemed off about all of this. Once he was certain that everything seemed okay up there, he turned to go back into his room, still a little shaken by the man that had deliberately attacked him, catching him off guard. It hadn't happened to him before. So sure he could handle it that he hadn't called any of his helpers to lend him a hand. But Fizzy must have heard the commotion and signaled William about it, or William had seen his friend was in his room. Whatever it was, his helper had come to their aid, and he was glad they had. But the fact was, he couldn't shake off that that man's threat quite so easily as he thought he could. It wasn't like the target had threatened him before. This time it felt different. Whoever this man's leader was didn't seem to want to take no as an answer. When would the man try to attack next? Would he try to get to the boy, or would he want something else instead? Why was he so nervous about this revelation he had just uncovered? The cat looked out through the balcony window. The night sky was the only thing he could see. Stars were twinkling against the midnight black. The guy at the cat let out a sigh, not sure what else to do. He went over to his bed, finally finished with what he needed to do. Before he climbed into it, he hesitated, unsure if he should go to sleep yet. Before he could make up his mind, he heard one of his bedroom doors open, and he turned to see William walking in, looking at him curiously. Has the man been taken care of? The cat asked curiously. The Reaper nodded his head, a look of certainty in his expression. Where is he? The cat asked. Beaver shrugged and smiled. As if the cat should know. Yeah, we really do need to think about having a more permanent place for those who misbehave to stay. Washington isn't just the police station, the kid said, shaking his head. Just not sure if I should, though. Seeing it so positively. Wonder who those could be. William shook his head as he looked over to where he'd come. Without worries, the boy could understand his friend. Yeah, the boy's okay. He's settling in, I guess. Again, now that the beaver nodded and looked over to his friend, eyeing him carefully. Again nodded. Yeah, there are still questions that need to be asked, but right now, I don't feel like asking him. You know, he's been through a lot and deserves to rest and recover. William sighed and nodded his head, as if understanding the cat. The cat smiled lazily. You should probably get to bed as well. Get to bed as well. I'll be fine here. Don't worry. Okay? The beaver nodded, still unsure as he looked back at the cat. But the uncertainty quickly turned into confidence as the beaver waved and left the room, and the cat watched him disappear, relieved to know that his friends did trust him, even if he wasn't sure he could trust himself. But the boy didn't seem to be all threatening. To him, he just sounded like another person who needed help, and he was willing to help him. After all, the boy was in his world, and he couldn't just do nothing about it. He needed to do something, and when the time came, he'd be ready to do what it took to make sure everything would be okay for all of them. The cat climbed into bed and laid down on the pillow, taking in a deep breath and slowly letting it out again. So much had happened in such a short amount of time. Still, so many questions swarmed around his mind. But he needed to be strong, to be brave for his friends, both new and old. He wouldn't let these strange men scare him. He wouldn't let them get what they wanted, whatever that was. He just hoped they would all be strong enough against him. This is Chapter 9. Are we ready for the next chapter? I guess we could. Yeah. We're getting close. We are getting close. Dan will be appearing in chapter 13. Getting close. Probably not in this video, though. This stream. Chapter 9. Sam woke up the next morning, his mind feeling fuzzy and confused. He sat up in his bed and looked around him as he realized fairly quickly that he wasn't in his bedroom. Liam wasn't across the hall in his bedroom next door. He wasn't in his house, in his town, or even in his world anymore. He wasn't sure what he should feel, what he wanted to feel. But he took a deep breath, trying to calm down, keep himself from panicking. He knew that he wasn't in danger. He was safe. Sure, his family didn't know that, but he would see them again. He'd return home and find his brother waiting for him. His father regretting everything he'd ever said or done to him. Wait, was that possible? Or was that just his imagination? Was this real? Was he dreaming? The boy groaned and he got out of bed and stretched, feeling like he'd slept for days, which was probably not the case. And yet, he couldn't believe how he'd come to be here. He had been lucky to find people who could help him. Well, they weren't what he was expecting. What was he expecting? Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. He looked around the guest room, trying to decide if he should go downstairs and see how everyone was doing. What were the people planning to do today? What were these people planning to do today? Creatures. Would he be able to come along, or would he have to stay here? He wasn't sure, but there were still many questions catching in his mind that he wasn't sure what to do about them all. The boy walked over to the chest nearby and opened it, finding something to eat in the chest as he took it and enjoyed what he'd found. Not really caring about how long it might have been in there for. Besides, it didn't taste all that bad, which was probably a good thing. Once the boy was done, Sam got to his feet and headed towards the door, opening as he looked around the room, listening for any sign that someone was awake. But when he heard nothing, he began to walk down the stairs, his mind trying to think about the millions of things he could say and do. But he wasn't sure what would work and what wouldn't. What would be appropriate. He was a stranger in this world, far away from the place he called home. He didn't want to make a mistake or do something that would change what would become of him. For all he knew, he could be cast out and left to fend for himself. How did he know he could trust these people? He just met them. Sure, they'd helped him. But what would happen when his aunt did find him? Would they just make him go home without a second thought? Would they even care if he just disappeared? He pushed these thoughts out of his mind as he tried to tell himself that he needed to give them a chance. The chance to show him that they could be trusted to help him now, and he was safe here, and that they wanted him to be happy. He smiled as he climbed down the stairs and walked over to the cat's bedroom, where he'd seen him exit when he had first gone to this place. Why am I doing that? Sam approached the cat's bedroom, trying to peek through the door to see in the room. He looked around until he spotted the cat on the balcony that was walled off by a large glass window, with the only door that led in and out. So this is where the cat spent his night. The night. It looked nice enough, but He was hesitant to enter, unsure whether or not it would be okay. After all, would it be considered rude? He watched in silence as the cat turned and walked into his bedroom, closing the door to his balcony as he did so. It didn't take it long before the cat noticed the boy peeking through the door, and he walked over and opened it for the rest of the way. "Morning, Sam," the cat said cheerfully. "Good morning, Stampy," the boy replied. "Did you sleep well last night?" the cat asked. Sam nodded his head. "Yeah, let's say I slept very well. Thanks for letting me stay here." "Yeah, it's my pleasure to be of help," the cat assured him. "You're my guest here, and I want to make sure you feel at home." "Yeah," the boy said sadly, nodding, as he thought of his home. He couldn't help but imagine just how worried everyone had to be about his disappearance. What if they couldn't find him? What if they thought the worst? What if he was stuck in this world for the rest of his life because people had given up looking for him? Was anyone looking? How could he be so sure? "You're thinking about where you're from, aren't you?" the cat asked quietly, startling the boy back to the conversation. "How do you know?" the boy asked suspiciously. "I've lived with my helpers long enough to know what people are thinking, at least in part." "Well, I guess I was being a bit obvious." The boy said it was being a smile. "I understand that you would feel that way. That's okay," Kay reassured him. "We'll find a way to get you home. Oh, it might be a little harder than I thought." "Why? You have a portal?" the boy asked. "Not the one you're probably thinking of," the guy replied, shaking his head. "But I know that in due time, someone will find you." "Yeah, I'm sure you're right," the boy sighed. "So, what are we going to do today?" "Well, I was thinking about playing the game that we finished building yesterday, but I feel like it might be smart to give you a quick tour around my world. You don't need you to get lost in a place like this." "Yeah, I agree with you there," the boy said with a slow nod. "You really don't mind?" "Of course not," the guy said. "It's a way for us to get to know each other, you could say." "I really like that idea," the boy said with a smile as he looked into the room. "Are you just about ready then?" "Almost. I still need to have my breakfast," the cat said as he stepped away from the door and walked over to the wooden table that was by the window. The boy looked at what was on the table curiously and looked at the cat. "Is that a cake?" the boy said with uncertainty. "Yeah, why do you ask? Do cats not normally have cakes in your world?" the cat asked. "No, of course not. It's actually pretty bad for anyone, really. The cakes in my world are full of bad sugars and chemicals and such. We don't have it often in our house because it's pretty expensive as well." "Well, this cake is fairly healthy for anyone to eat, even me. Besides, it's my favorite food." "How do you make it?" the boy asked curiously. "You need 4 total ingredients. 3 wheat from the farm, 3 buckets of fresh milk from the cows, an egg from chicken, 2 pieces of sugar, which can be made onto a crafting table." "Just like that?" the boy asked, surprised. "Yep, pretty much," the guy said with amusement. "I would say to have a taste if I weren't already eating this. But if you want, we can go to my Stampy Hotbuns where you can have a taste." "I'm good," the boy said, shaking his head with a smile. "I have nothing against you. Don't let me stop you from enjoying what you like." "Wasn't planning on it," the kid laughed as he ate the cake, taking his time until he finished it, licking the remaining frosting off his paws. "So, where to first?" the boy asked after the new friend was finished. "Well, first of all, I need to drop Barnaby off at the doghouse," the cat replied, looking over at the dog, who barked cheerfully and wagged its tail. Barnaby stood up from his dog bed and walked over to the cat's side. "Well, that's something I don't see every day," the boy said more to himself than to anyone else. The cat laughed. I know. It's probably strange for you. But it's normal to me. You have to understand. We're from different places. Having different backgrounds. Yeah, I guess I need to get used to it then. The voice that was... I'm sure I will. Yeah, you'll get there eventually, don't you worry. The kid reassured him. I'm sure I will, the boy nodded. And he followed the cat out of the bedroom and down toward the storage room, exiting through the front entrance. The boy looked to see what he assumed was the doghouse as he followed the cat to the entrance of the building. Would you like to take a moment to look around here while I'm going to drop off Barnaby off? Just don't go too far. Get offered. Are you sure it's a good idea? The boy asked. Just give me a holler if you need me. The cat assured him. I'm sure you'll do fine, though. The cat... Blah, 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 blah. Sam smiled and nodded. See you in a bit, then. The boy watched as the cat walked into the doghouse, with Barnaby at his heels. The boy stepped back from the entrance and looked around at his surroundings. The place looked quiet and calm, the clear blue skies bright and cheerful. The boy walked over to the tree that stood beside the entrance to the house and looked at it, noticing that there was a sign in front of it. The boy paused as he looked down at the sign, unsure of what he should be doing. This wasn't just any old tree. It was a way to remember a dog named Gregory, who had passed away. How he died? He wasn't sure. Maybe Stampy would know the answer to that, if he was willing to talk about it. He couldn't be so sure. The boy stepped back from the oak tree and turned around to see a melon tree looming over him. He had a feeling that it had to be the same sort of some sort of transportation, which he knew his friend would know more about. But right now, he wanted just to have a little fun exploring this place. The boy turned to see a simple building in front of him. It looked to be a design for a cake shop or bakery of some kind. Was this the hot buns that Stampy was talking about? Probably. Certainly had a lot of questions. Just like he was sure his friend had a question for him as well. As Sam began to head back to the doghouse, he suddenly stopped in his tracks, and he heard the sound of footsteps behind him. Part of him wanted to run, and another wanted to turn around to see who was behind him. But before he could do either of those things, he was grasped from behind. He tried crying out for help. A strong hand slammed over his mouth. Ouch. The boy struggled as a familiar voice hissed into the air. Did you really think you could hide from me forever, boy? The voice asked as the boy shuddered. How had the man found him? What was he going to do to him? How long did it take to drop off a dog in the doghouse? Debbie would probably sing a little old dogs. Oh dear. The boy struggled against his captor, trying as hard as he could to free himself from the man. But the man only tightened his grip on the boy as he began dragging him backward. No matter how hard the boy tried, he couldn't get away from this man. How long would it take for Stampy to realize that he was in trouble? Could he even do anything about it? Would he even try to do anything about it? Sam closed his eyes as he tried to relax. There was no use panicking over this. After all, there wasn't much he could do about it anyway. As he felt the man drag him backward to who knew where, he suddenly heard movement overhead. The boy opened his eyes and looked up just in time to see William Beaver lunged down towards them, tackling the man away from the boy as he scrambled back away from the man. Surprised to see the helper, but relieved someone had come to his rescue. Sam! A voice cried from behind him. The boy turned to see the cat running towards him, his diamond sword in hand as he stepped in front of the boy, between the man and the boy. William blocked the man from getting any closer, but the man only laughed as he shoved the helper away. Ow. You really think it would be that easy to stop me? The man sneered. He shook his head, excuse me, as he looked from the boy to the cat, and them back. And then, that's obviously an narrator. Hour? Then? Damn it, y'all. Oh. I gotta put my phone down. Put the phone down. Then, back at the boy. Especially when my leader could do just about anything to you, your friends, or even your world. You leave my friends and world out of this, the cat snapped determinedly. The man laughed again, shaking his head. Perhaps what my leader really wanted was here the whole time, boy. I thought you wanted to get to me, the boy snapped. You went through quite the effort to get to me. That I did, but my leader has different plans for you now. After all, no one even knows you're here. You aren't the only one he wants, Samuel. It's Sam to you, the boy snapped, feeling a wave of uneasiness as he looked over at the cat. Expression was firm and unchanging, but the boy had a feeling he knew what the man had meant. I see you seem to be figuring it out, aren't you? The man mused. Too bad those smarts can't keep you from facing the truth, boy. I will be back when my leader is ready for him. Don't let him get away, the boy demanded when the man turned to run, William charging after him. The boy swallowed, knowing the man would get away, knowing that something bad had been missing to the puzzle. Something had been missing to the puzzle. Now, it's all clicking into place. Are you okay? The cat asked quietly, putting his sword away as he approached the boy. You didn't tell me you were a YouTuber, the boy said blandly, not trying to sound like he was accusing his friend of anything. I didn't think it was important, the cat replied. Besides, I don't really see myself as a YouTuber here in my lovely world. And yet, you are, and I'm the only one who knows you're here. Besides that man's leader, the boy said bitterly. That man was right. There isn't much I can do to stop him. Not exactly, the cat said with a small smile, upon the boy's shoulder. William, I can teach you how to use a sword. How will that help? The boy said, assured of what he was feeling. Frustrated, scared, certain. Couldn't these men just leave him alone? And now he was threatening his friends. I'll make sure you have some way of protecting someone if they need it, the cat said with a smile. You're referring to yourself, right? The boy said, wanting clarification. Polly and Fizzy don't like to use weapons for violence. If targeted, it would be good to have some backup, the cat said simply. Sam nodded. I see what you mean, but do you think we can do it before it's too late? You may be surprised just how much can be accomplished in a short amount of time, the cat said with a smile as the beaver walked back in their direction, alone. The man had definitely escaped, and he doubted it would be the last time they saw of him. Grammarly. It looks to me we need to teach this boy, how to use a sword, the cat told William once he approached. If what that man said was true, we really do need to prepare for anything. But he could be just trying to scare us, the boy admitted. True, but was it an unknown threat? Beginning to assist, shaking his head. Well, at least you're not doing this alone, the boy said matter-of-factly. No, we're not, the kid agreed, as he smiled down at the boy. Why don't we go over to the Fancy Circle Park and see what we can teach you? It's got lots of room to practice. What about the door? The boy asked. What's more important to you? The kid asked. Safety of your friends or knowing how to get around? Those are important, really, but I see what you mean, the boy admitted. Wait, the kid said with a smile, nodding his head as he turned to William. Ready for this? William nodded and looked over at the boy, looking him up and down before smiling at the... He seemed confident and determined, alert and ready to do whatever it took to protect his friend. After all, Sam knew that the kid would need all the help he could get. So for an hour now, I think we can go through chapter 10. And we're going to have the next chapters later. Fun parts are going to happen soon. Chapter 10. Stampy led the way to Fancy Circle Park, eager to get started with teaching the boy. Sure, he wasn't the best when it came to combat, but certainly William would be able to help with that. It didn't take long before they arrived at the park, William having to stop along the way to craft a few wooden swords for all of them, so that they wouldn't risk hurting their opponent too badly during practice. The cat led his friends to the park. What have I done? What have I done? What have I done? The cat led his friends to the park, and they went over to the center while William gave the boy and the cat a wooden sword. The boy looked over at the two of them curiously, as if expecting something to happen. See what you have in store? The cat asked the boy. To be honest, I don't know anything about sword fighting except through books, and I doubt they're accurate or helpful, the boy admitted. The cat laughed. That's all right. I'll show you how to use a sword and defend. Once you hold a decent defense, we'll start on the offense. You really have to hurt someone in order to do this? The boy asked with uncertainty. No, the cat said slowly. You can easily knock someone unconscious easily enough. Good. The boy said with a smile. Though it doesn't really matter how it's done. It's important to keep your charge safe at all costs. Clear? That doesn't always mean fighting a battle of some kind. The cat warned. Be smart and ready to back off or give it a chance. Got it, the boy said. And be aware of your surroundings. Well, you might be dealing with one opponent, but that would leave you vulnerable to an ambush, the cat replied. Or your charge as well. Someone could try to sneak around you and try to get to them, the boy added. Stampy smiled and nodded. I think you're getting the hang of it now. I haven't even started practicing. Still, you know the important things to remember. Keep those in mind as you practice, okay? I will, the boy Sam assured him. Holding his sword up high, the cat helped him readjust his grip until it was strong and firm. The boy swung the blade side to side, just smiling as he watched. This was going to be better than he thought it would. All right, how about I show you some techniques, the cat said, showing the boy some defense and offense movements. The boy copying them to the best of his abilities. It was helping him improve. This is good fun, the boy admitted. The kid shook his head. Can be, but it depends on how willing you are going to get to keep someone safe. Yeah, the boy nodded, frowning slightly before lifting his head. I'm ready to try this out. William? Would you like to be his first opponent? The kid asked the beaver. He nodded his head and stepped forward. The boy steadied himself, ready to do what he'd been shown to defend against William, who would be on the offense. The cat watched on the sidelines, giving that boy suggestions to see him along. Surprised that the boy was keeping up with the beaver. It's still good. I think so. Ay. Yeah, we're still good. Where were we? Suddenly, as the cat watched the two of them practice, he had an idea. He extended his own wooden sword and carefully snuck around to where the boy couldn't see, and pounced. Sam spotted him just in time and managed to dodge him as William tried to get him from the other side. The boy stepped back so he could deal with them evenly. What are you doing? This isn't fair, the boy protested, still managing to keep the both of them back. When it comes to protecting someone, it's never fair. The kid replied with amusement. You need to adapt quickly and be on your toes, literally and figuratively. You're doing pretty well, though. The boy nodded. Yeah, I guess I'm doing pretty decent. Suddenly, the boy lunged at him and quickly knocked the sword out of the cat's hand. Blah. And William lowered his sword as the cat looked at the boy with surprise. Where'd you learn that trick? The kid asked. Their man did it to you yesterday, remember? I remembered it, the boy replied. Cat smiled. It's a handy trick. So is defending against two or more attackers. We should practice that one more often, the boy replied. I have to agree with you there. Boy, you're doing pretty well for a beginner, the cat said with a smile. I don't see why you weren't so sure you'd be able to do it. It's because I didn't know my potential back there, the boy said confidently. But I do now. Did you do? The cat agreed, smiling widely at the boy. Still, you do have a lot to learn before you can prepare to do what it takes to help someone who can't defend themselves. I still feel like you're referring to yourself more than that sentence than you are to your other friends. Troll, you're a YouTuber. Yeah, you're right, the cat sighed. But I like keeping things fair. It's not about me, you know. Oh, Sam laughed and nodded. Oh, I do now. Excuse me. Good. Why not we call it a day and do some games tomorrow? I promised my helpers we'd do it. We can show you around his place perhaps the day after. I'm fine with that, the boy replied. I just have to be sure I stay with a helper until I know my way around a bit. I know my way around this world better than anyone else. After all, I did put the buildings here. I didn't build them alone, but I did come up with the ideas, the cat replied. Cool! And handy, the boy agreed. No one will think twice about being able to outsmart you, being chased. Technically, they still could. No, they have to be smart about it. I just hope that never happens, the boy replied. I hope so too, the cat said. I'm not sure I want to meet that man that leads that group that wants to destroy my kind. We won't let him win, the boy said confidently. That's what the cause is here for, to make sure they don't get away with their schemes. And yet, you're right about one thing. The cause doesn't know we're here. How could they help us if we need it? Cat asked. Sam swallowed. I honestly don't know. But we'll find a way, no matter what it takes. Stampy nodded and smiled. I like your confidence. Sam nodded, looking away from the cat as he looked off in the distance. That's nice. Would you like to tell me what's on your mind? The cat asked curiously, raising an eyebrow quietly. A lot is on my mind, really, the boy sighed. Do you want to talk about it? The cat suggested. No mind, the boy asked. The cat looked over at William, shrugged and nodded, for the cat to continue, replacing his wooden sword with a diamond one. He can't do what he tried to tell him, and it made the cat feel a little easier about everything that was going on. Of course I don't mind, the cat said to the boy. You need someone to talk to, and I'm here to listen. Sam smiled and nodded, still not looking at the cat as he said, Do you really think someone's looking for me? I'm sure your family wouldn't give up searching for you, the cat replied. Care about you, right? Yeah, Sam nodded. I know if Liam were here right now, he wouldn't want anything to happen to you. Not just because you're a YouTuber, but a friend. What about you? Would you do the same? The cat asked. Of course I would, the boy said with a nod. I want to do whatever it takes to make sure nothing happens to my friends. You're the first YouTuber I've ever met, and you need my help. I have a helper. My helpers help me too, you know, the kid reminded. I know, but they can't always be there for you, the boy insisted. What if something happens when we least expect it, and we can't stop it? I see someone who's capable of doing whatever it takes for his friends, the kid replied. Even with the helpers giving you a hand, I think you'll be able to help me if I happen to need it. But I'm just a kid, the boy insisted. Yeah, you made it this far, the kid said quietly. You think you can do me more than that? If I put my mind to it, maybe, the boy said. If it mattered to you enough, you would, the kid corrected. The boy looked up and smiled. You really think I can do this? I believe in you, Sam, the kid whispered softly. I can't do this alone. Neither can you. We need to do this together. As a team. That's how we'll get through this. Sam nodded. You may be right. I hope I am, the kid replied with a frown. Because even being alone is risky. Then you won't be. The boy said matter-of-factly. We need to make sure we can keep ourselves safe and accountable. It'll make it harder for the men to get to you. The kid smiled. Good idea, Sam. Thanks, the boy said quietly. I think your aunt and brother would be really proud of how much you've grown over the past few days, the kid replied. You see things from a different perspective. You want to help me, even though you don't really know me all that well. Oh, hello, Stampy. Then why don't we get started in that? The boy said with a mischievous smile. The cat laughed. I'm ready when you are. The boy nodded as the cat turned to face William, who was waiting by one of the 4 exits, standing tall and alert, and the cat declared that they were ready to go. He let the boy go ahead as he walked beside the beaver. Thank you, William, the kid said genuinely. He really needed that. The beaver nodded and smiled, looking at the boy that was in front of them. The cat smiled in return. Do you think you'll be really ready for this, all of this? The beaver nodded again and raised an eyebrow. The cat chuckled nervously, looking over his shoulder, seeing nothing but the path that stretched behind him. There's so much we still don't know about those men. I just hope we can handle this before those men try to do anything. The beaver shook his head and smiled sadly, looking over at the cat. How much time do you think we have, William? The cat asked quietly. The beaver shrugged and put a reassuring paw on his shoulder. The cat smiled sadly, grateful for his friend's gentle honesty. This time, he knew that they would get through it, no matter what. He couldn't give up hope that there was a chance that it could be found. But if not, they'd be ready to face whatever dangers laid ahead. And he hoped so. And with that, the 3 of them walked on toward the house. The cat eager to prepare for the fun day ahead. It was a promise he intended to keep for his helpers. They worked the game long enough. Now it was time to play it. And he couldn't wait to see what he and his friends would do and would win. That was the best part of it all. He couldn't wait for the day to arrive. But right now, he'd spent time with the boy to get to know him. After all, that was also very important. Knowing the person that one is trying to protect. That way, he could be determined when things get too much to handle. But he believed that the boy already knew that, even with the little bit he did know. Was enough to give him the determination to help him. Think we should do one more chapter or just good? I don't know. One more chapter. Sam had spent most of the day with Stampy, hanging out around the house and getting to know each other. The boy had never knew these kinds of things could be pretty fun. At least not until he tried them. The boy found himself in the cat's bedroom, sitting on the chair quietly as the cat had made for him to sit on. He wasn't saying much, not being completely sure what to say, especially when he wanted to so much more about this world and understand it a little better. Are you having fun with all of this? The cat asked the boy curiously. Yeah, I think I've had quite a lot of fun. More than I've ever have in a while. Wait a minute. That's good. The cat nodded. I understand that you want to ask me a lot of questions, but I want to know about you, about where you came from. There isn't much I can say, to be fair, the boy said slowly, trying to think of what he should say about his home. I lived with my dad and brother in a house just out of town. We went to school together and came home to do homework and studying. Do you have any friends? I do, but I can't really spend time with them much because of all the studying and work our father wanted us to do. I understand why making sure you remember what you learn is important, but I want to learn about things that matter, like how to defend someone you know. I guess Stampy smiled and nodded. There's a whole lot more you could learn here in my world that could definitely be useful, like knowing how to make a cake on a crafting table. The boy asked, raising an eyebrow. The cat laughed. Yes, but there is more. I can't wait then. The boy said with a sigh. Though I wonder what my brother is up to right now. No doubt he's probably wondering what you're up to right now. Yes, well. Sam shook his head. I don't know. I know he'd think about me, but we've heard about what happened to one of my aunt's friends when he'd found part of a plan to stop the intruders. Whatever did happen to him? The cat asked with surprise. The boy shook his head. He was interrogated and tortured by one of those men. They were trying to see whether or not he knew anything about it, which he didn't. He survived it, but he shook his head again. It had to be horrible. I only know when my aunt was able to tell me. That's awful. The kid. I'm sure the man can do worse, the boy said grimly. Especially when it comes to destroying people's lives. I see why you want to help me so badly then. Okay, but you don't want me to have to face that. I don't, the boy agreed. But you are my friend. And friends look out for each other no matter what. Yes, you're right about that. The cat said with a small smile. But I couldn't help but wonder if the cat was thinking about something else. Do you have friends that you knew before the helpers? The boy asked curiously. What makes you say that? The cat asked, not sounding at all surprised. Well, I guess I'm just curious, the boy shrugged. Kind of. Because Dad had other friends helping me with my building and playing with me. Buildings. But I haven't seen any of them in years. Oh, I got it. Probably missed them. Of course I did. But I like to think they're doing well. The cat smiled. They know what they can always come for a visit if they would like, but they do have their own lives to live, and I'm okay with that. It's their choice, girl. It always has been. Sam nodded. Think someday I can meet some of them? The cat shrugged. I honestly don't know. But I'm sure they would like you very much. You're a very determined friend. Sam laughed. Who else is going to do it right now? I have no choice but to help. You do, the cat pointed out. You don't have to do any of this. You want to. It's the right thing to do, the boy replied matter-of-factly. I'm glad, the cat replied. I'm going to need all the help I can get if something does happen. I do have you guys to my overpowered sword, but I don't know if it'll be enough. Especially if that man brings friends with him, the boy agreed. But we can figure it out. We will figure out a way to make sure they don't get what they want. I'm sure we will, the cat nodded. looking over to the window that led out to the balcony, watching as the sun slowly but surely begin to set. You tired yet? Sip shook his head. No, are you? Kid shrugged. Not really. The boy nodded his head, trying to decide if he had anything else he could say. Do you think the game will be safe enough for me to play? Pianist? Sure. The cat said. You can watch from sidelines, so and keep a lookout. You really trust me to do that? The boy asked with uncertainty. It's your choice, Sam. It will always be that way. So... It will always be that way. It will always be that way, so long as I'm around, the cat said with a smile. Can't take that from you. I guess I could watch for the first round to see for myself if you see. The cat asked. Sounds like a plan to me. The boy looked out of the window himself. The sun was just above the horizon, signifying another end of a day, where he was technically still missing. Yet, he couldn't shake the feeling that the picture he had found in his locker was part of something much more. He had wondered what Rose's friend had found when he'd been abducted and tortured. But now, he knew. This was far worse. He wasn't in danger, but he was also missing. Even though the men didn't see him as a threat, they could still use his disappearance to drive his aunt to her knees. He didn't want that to happen, and he didn't want to fail in his attempts to keep he only knew for a short amount of time so. But he knew it was what his mother would have done. He wasn't sure how he knew, but he did. Everyone was looking up to him for a way through this. Wasn't even sure what he was meant to do about it. Everything okay? The cat asked the boy curiously. Sam nodded. Yeah, I'm just thinking about something. And what is that? The cat replied, looking at the boy carefully. Sam hesitated before shaking his head. I'm not sure I want to tell you. You don't have to, the cat replied. But I might be able to help if you're willing. And Sam looked over his cat and sighed. A few days ago, I found something in my locker. The same day my aunt came to tell us about all this. What was it? The cat asked, looking uncertain. It's a picture of a blue clock with 4 tick marks, the boy replied. The hands of the clock were opened in a right angle, with a line going up and another going to the right. So the opposite way of my clock tower faces. The cat replied. Yeah, the boy said slowly. I didn't think much of it at first, but then I started having the feeling that someone was watching me. Do you think there's a connection? The cat asked. I have no doubt there is, the boy replied. But maybe it wasn't meant for me. Maybe there's still a reason I was brought here. I met you. What is it? The cat asked. I don't know. The boy sighed in frustration. Do you still have it? The cat said curiously. Sam shook his head. No, my father tore it to shreds when I went to tell him about it. He thought I was making it all up, trying to make an excuse to go with my aunt. He didn't want us to go. He even stayed up all night to make sure she wouldn't try to sneak in and take us out with her. Would she do that? The cat wondered. Sam shrugged. I don't know. But she wouldn't have left us if she'd known one of us was in danger. I regret not saying something sooner. But if you hadn't, would have found me. I still wouldn't have any idea about all this, the cat played. From the sound of it, those men have known I was here for quite some time. How can you tell? The boy asked. Stampy hesitated before letting out a sigh. Occasionally, when I found myself walking alone or doing one of my bills, I would get a feeling that I wasn't alone. I didn't think much of it because there could always be googlies watching me from underneath ground. something like, "What are googlies?" the boy asked. "Monsters, like zombies, skeletons, creepers, spiders, so much more," the cat said. "They only come out whenever it gets dark, though." "That's good. But what changed your mind?" the boy asked. Cat swallowed and shrugged. "Well, you did. In coming here, you practically let me know that there was more danger out there than the mere monster or my nemesis target." "Wow, you sure have a lot of enemies," the boy said simply. The cat shook his head. "I can handle googlies. I can handle a target and his partner, Beaver Dash, most of the time. But I don't know much about those other men that scare me, really." "Maybe that's how they like it," the boy shrugged. "But my aunt admitted she didn't tell us everything. Maybe she does know more, but I wasn't able to find out in time." "None of this was your fault," the cat replied. "You haven't won yet." "And they won't win," the boy replied. The cat nodded and smiled. My thoughts exactly. I think I'm gonna have to end that there. My voice is about to go. Sorry. That's chapter 11. A lot farther than I went before. That's good. Yeah. Yeah. I never know how many chapters I want to read. It just depends on me, I guess. But yeah, I'm gonna have to end that there, and I hope you guys had a wonderful day, and thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one, which will probably in the year 2020. Goodbye.